ladies and gentlemen. We are here precisely to be part of the advocacy and education visit by the Anans.
We have been working over the last 20 years, my colleagues and I, in developing biofortified orange flesh sweet potato for sub-Saharan Africa.
CSIR is the foremost research institute in Ghana. The variety for which reason that we are here was developed by CSIR Crop Research Institute in 2005.
This sweet potato is just conventionally bred. Sweet potato germplasm is amazingly diverse.
And when we talk about biofortified crops, what it means is that we're looking for something that is naturally rich.
And the flesh can be all colors, from white, that has no beta-carotene or provitamin A, to orange, which has lots of beta-carotene and provitamin A, to even purple-fleshed, which is really a preferred color in China.
Genetically modified actually means that some foreign DNA has been inserted into DNA, the chromosomes of the sweet potato. In this case, the orange flesh sweet potato is not genetically modified, it's actually natural.
When you compare orange flesh sweet potato to many other crops, it's relatively easy to grow. Once it's established, it's drought tolerant. You can get very high yield.
I am actually now growing it all over the place at home.
It's actually a very interesting crop. You can actually use it to make gari. The most nutritious way of eating sweet potato is just basically boiled or fried. The leaves are also nutritious. Virtually all parts of the plant are useful, and in fact, nothing needs to go to waste.
We actually use the color orange as a communication tool. Foods such as mango, papaya, squash, pumpkin, that are orange in color are rich in provitamin A, and we're trying to associate the orange color with good health. So we want African consumers to be much more aware that when you eat foods that are dark green or orange in color, you're getting foods with more vitamins.
We know what vitamin A deficiency does to a child's life, and indeed, even for an adult. The first 1,000 days of a child's life is very, very important. And this starts from when the child is conceived.
Because of this high vitamin A component and also other nutrients, it can help pregnant mothers and it can help young children growing up, because there's an issue of stunting, and this is a way to, an answer to fight stunting and give children nutritious food.
With nutrition education at the community level, we could make a real contribution to intake of vitamin A, and we showed impact on vitamin A deficiency. Approximately a 15% reduction in the prevalence of vitamin A deficiency among children under 5.
We have sweet potato being used in bread as a substitute for wheat flour. So that's pretty much, it's a very nutritious product. Ghanaians love bread. It's a way that one can improve the nutritional value of the bread. We have a price of sweet potato that is less than imported wheat flour. It even has a potential for serving as some kind of a foreign exchange substitute.
And so we see this as a win-win for creating new markets for farmers, a better product for urban consumers. And we're hoping that with the Vicon Bakery example that this will take off, and more bakeries in Ghana will start creating markets for farmers by using orange flesh sweet potato and a better product for urban consumers.
I've been hearing about this possibility of introduce this orange flesh sweet potato into the bread, and to see this happen in reality with Mrs. Kono and hearing about her story. She as a woman have developed this bakery and now hiring so many women, and how they have now introduced the potato into the dough.
Agbabe adoye bloroma doya rokoma jagoma. Vi ko nye kpli vinyo kpli sronye ko jagoma. Vi ko gaka mawa manvava. Ye makplonya vasele tefe.
The Women in Agricultural Development arm of MOFA, they've produced all sorts of dishes with sweet potato. And these are local dishes that people know. So if people know what to do with it, if people see the potential, we think that it will be more than just a passing project. And we hope that through this kind of awareness and promotion that we're getting from high-level people as
the Anans, since they have become enthusiastic about the potentials and efforts to boost production and the consumption of vitamin A-rich orange flesh potato.
There's two things we're working on. First is the promotion of health is wealth. And in the rural areas in Ghana, we are working in 8 districts on pilot health facilities to encourage pregnant women to start growing orange flesh sweet potato.
And that is why we are collaborating with the International Potato Center in a project where we give the sweet potato to pregnant women.
A business approach, a market-based approach, is what is going to actually get this thing to have some sticking power in Ghana.
Obviously, you need land.
If farmers can make money on it, that they will then be inclined to grow it. They'll be inclined, if they know the benefit of it, if the consumers themselves know the benefit of it, they'll be demanding it. It will become prominent.
I mean, I'm not a businessman myself, but I see the vines and they are easy to pick, they're easy to multiply, and you need the will and the enthusiasm for this.
Orange flesh sweet potato is the first biofortified crop that's starting to go to scale in Africa. As part of the Sweet Potato for Profit and Health initiative, we have reached 2 million households.
My appeal is to donors to fund the production and processing of orange flesh sweet potato for generation of wealth and to contribute to the nation's health.
When I stepped down as Secretary General, I promised my wife and myself that we should devote quite a bit of our time to agriculture. I've always been convinced that Africa must feed itself. We produce what we don't eat, and we import what we eat. That is not very logical. And it is really time that we focus on feeding ourselves. We saw a baker who started a bakery with a few people and now employs over 171 people. This is what it should be. We often look to big companies to create jobs, but in most societies, majority of jobs are created by small and medium-sized companies. And we should encourage individuals to set up their own companies, employ themselves and others to make our societies prosper.